which he wants to say here. So formal welcome address by Dr. Suravaram Singh. He will be addressing you. A prominent personality, has been editor of Tribune, has been a great writer, playwright also, very well known in the cultural field also. So Dr. Surajbir, I request him to come and place his welcome address. अपना स्वागत भाषण देंगे डॉक्टर सुराजबीर सिंह, जो चेयरपर्सन है पंजाब में, जो रिसेप्शन कमेटी इस कांग्रेस को होस्ट करने के लिए बनाई है।
From all over the country, fraternal parties in India, delegates to the 25th Congress of Communist Party of India, sisters and brothers. Welcome to the land of 5 rivers. Welcome to the land which has been the cradle of civilization from the ancient times. Welcome to the land of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Baba Sheikh Farid, Bulle Shah, Damodar and Dullapati. Welcome to the land of people's resistance movements, right from Pagdi Sabhal Jatta in 1907 to 2020-21 Kisan Andolan against the 3 retrogressive agriculture laws. Welcome to the land of Nagar Party, which contributed the highest number of martyrs to the freedom movement in the 20th century, and whose comrades laid down the foundations of the communist movement in Punjab. Welcome to the land of Jallianwala Bagh, land of Kartar Singh Sarafa, Bibi Gulab Kaur, Rahmat Ali Wajid Ke, Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev, Udham Singh and other freedom fighters. Dear comrades, on behalf of the reception committee of the 25th Congress of CPI, on behalf of the Punjab unit of CPI, the people of Punjab and Chandigarh, I welcome you all to Comrade Sudhakar Reddy Nagar at the inaugural session of the Congress. It was 100 years ago that the Communist Party of India formally came into existence, and right from the days of Kanpur conspiracy case in 1924, our comrades valiantly fought against the British rule of India and made innumerable sacrifices, facing death sentences, life imprisonments, and confiscation of land and property. During partition, our comrades emerged as a bulwark against the communal frenzy, saving thousands of lives. That is why, even 8 decades down the line of memory, the memory of the warriors like Comrade Gail Singh Shajalwadi and comrades like him is alive in the minds of the people. Our party has waged innumerable struggles against the oppressive governments and the onslaught of capital, mobilizing millions of workers, peasants, and other hard-working people of the country. Punjab tenants movement, led by Comrade Teja Singh Sutantar, Jagir Singh Joga, Taram Singh Fakkar, Shajumal Vaid, and others, stand shoulder to shoulder with the valiant struggles like the Telangana movement. Dear comrades, we are meeting at a difficult time, when the scourge of authoritarianism and fascism has raised its head in the body politic of India. It has been successful in communalizing the mind of a vast population, especially in the northern, central, and western India. Our task lies in fighting the dangerous trends and tendencies which are intent on tearing apart the social fabric of our beloved country. Today, communalism, crony capitalism, and neoliberalism are working hand in hand to oppress the rights of workers, peasants, tribals, Dalits, minorities, and women. A dangerous political game is being played in the name of ultra-nationalism, undermining the secular nationalism of the country, foundation of which were laid in our constitution given to us by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and other founding fathers. Dear comrades, the present political establishment in India, led by the BJP, is using all means to divide the people to its advantage and to silence the voices of dissent and resistance. Human existence, devoid of dissent and resistance, becomes vegetative and meaningless. CPI and other left parties represent the most determined discourse of dissent and resistance, and our aim is to unite all the left and democratic forces of the country against the rise of fascism. For this, unity of the left is the most essential and fundamental. The present establishment has spread its communal agenda all over the country, and particularly in Manipur and Kashmir, leading to long-lasting misery. This establishment shows itself in many colors and hues. On one hand, it is at the feet of the Indian corporates, multinational companies, and its favorite capitalists, while on the other hand, it wants to color the body politic of the country in the colors of Hindutva. It sells mass hysteria to the people and tends to dehumanize them in the name of nationalism. It must be reiterated that its nationalism is not true nationalism. True nationalism lies in the hearts of the toiling masses of India, whose hard work forms the bedrock of our economy. True nationalism lies in their sweat and hard labor. This establishment defrauds people in the electoral process and presents its victory in nationalist colors, while such victories are truly based on the division of our people. This divisive agenda of nationalism being forced upon the people by the ruling party is antithetical to the idea of India that evolved in the course of our freedom struggle. Keeping the communal pot boiling and demonizing the minority community is the main strategy of this establishment, and we altogether have to fight it. Today's regime, led by BJP and controlled by RSS, is not content with governing the country. It has entered and taken over the constitutional and statutory institution and aimed to destroy and distort the fundamentals of our constitution, reshaping them in its own image, which they call the Hindu Rashtra. It is encroaching upon the authority of states, and federalism is being rapidly eroded. It is depriving the states of their due resources and inflicting pain on the people. Due to this obsession with greed to retain power. Even the constitutional bodies like the election commission are amid the crisis of credibility. The government presence in health and education sectors has decreased. Masses are devoid of social security. The education sector has been highly subsidized and students are being taught false historical narratives. Unemployment has peaked, leading to frustration amongst the youth whose minds are fed on the poisonous communal potion dished out on social media platforms. Planned strategy to minimize public spending in the crucial sectors is bound to retard economic growth and aggravate inequality. This regime's poisonous masculinity pits it against women and Dalits. Their rights have been undermined and atrocities on them have increased. In these times, the left parties have huge responsibilities to stand on the side of the truth of the people and the truth of the Constitution. As Guru Nanak Dev Ji had said, truth never gets old, and once hewn, it never gets torn. We have to sue together the truth of this nation and defend it against the falsehood of fascism which threatens our unity and our people. At international level, the finance capital and the neoliberal policies of the capitalist countries are aimed at looting the natural resources of Asia, Africa, and Latin America, and infest various countries with the virus of war. In the area of foreign policy, the present regime has departed from the principle of non-alignment and personal showmanship, coupled with crude optics, has come to the center stage. In this regard, we stand with our Palestinian brothers and sisters who are undergoing indescribable suffering and genocide at the hands of the Zionist government of Israel. We are against the war waged by Russia on Ukraine, which in turn wants to embrace NATO to destabilize that region. We are against the various wars inflicted upon the African nations, which are fueled by the erstwhile colonial power of Europe and USA. We are against the tariff war imposed by Donald Trump and his government on various countries, including India. We need to build broad resistance against the tyranny of USA in the international order. Our country recently went to war with Pakistan. Before that, we witnessed a huge tragedy at Pahalgam in Kashmir. We stand with the families of the victims of the terrorism and oppose terrorism in every form and garb. We support the efforts of the government in defending our country. We laud our armed forces and their valor. At the same time, we demand accountability from the government and demand to know how and why the incident at Pahalgam happened. We demand transparency. We are in favor of peace with all our neighbors. The people of Punjab had suffered at the time of partition and in the war thereafter. Today, Punjab demands peace and central government must listen to our voice. Recently, Punjab and other northern Indian states have suffered the fury of floods. It is the result of the constant neglect and grossly outdated water and drainage systems. Precious lives have been lost, property and livestock destroyed, and livelihood affected. We mourn the loss of life and offer our condolences to bereaved families. But who is responsible for this devastation? Clearly, it is the central government and the state governments who have failed to pay due attention to maintain the irrigation resources and drainage system. In an essay, The British Rule in India 172 years ago, Karl Marx had outlined the responsibility historically bestowed upon the central governments in India in maintaining irrigation and drainage. He had outlined that the neglect of irrigation and drainage had led to decay of civilization. The misery of our people has been compounded by the designs of the private enterprise and land mafia. We demand that the responsibility of this criminal neglect must be fixed and governments must be held accountable. Comrades, we have gathered here in Comrade Sudhakar Reddy Nagar to discuss all the national, regional and international problems, analyze them and find solutions. These times demand from us the truthful analysis and forging of people's resistance to the fascist advance. Our aim is left and democratic unity. All this will be discussed in this Congress, and I am sure that powered by the Marxist-Leninist ideology, we will find the right solution. At the same time, we dedicate ourselves to defend the rights of workers, peasants, Dalits, tribal, women, minorities, and all the toiling masses of our country. With this, I again welcome you to the land of five rivers, the land of Baba Sheikh Farid and Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and wish this Congress a great success. We will fight and the people will win. Forces of justice and truth will win. Left unity, Jindabad. Unity of left and democratic forces, Jindabad. Inqilab, Jindabad. Lal Salam.
So thank you, Comrade, for your welcome speech. We are here in Kisan Bhavan, which has been named for 5 days after the name of Comrade S. Sudhakar Reddy. So you are sitting in that Nagar at present. We also named this hall, and it is after the name of our Kisan leader, Comrade Atul Kumar Anjan. That is the hall. Then when you enter the main gate of this Sudhakar Reddy Nagar, that main gate bears the name of Comrade Kanam Rajendran. So that is the Kanam Rajendran gate which is welcoming you all. Then from where you are taking your registration and as delegates and others, that hall is named after Darshan Singh, Canadian, martyr of the period of fighting against Khalistani terrorist movement. And you are having sumptuous breakfast, lunch, dinner since yesterday. That hall is named after Jagmohan Singh, our former secretary of Punjab State Party. So in this premises, we will be having our Congress for all these 5 days, and proceedings will go on. This is an open session. Many friends have also come. Reception committee members have also come. That's why it was important to inform how we have named this thing. But then lots of reading and writing. We comrades are supposed to do.
ఎవరు మాట్లాడుతున్నారో అప్పుడు వాళ్ళ
And we will be going towards the right side when we enter from there. Then at that time, you will find another gate that is named after Comrade A.B. Barthan. That is our exhibition complex. Comrades are getting it ready. So we have honored the leaders of the recent times and of the old times together. तो इस जगह पे सबके स्वागत के साथ आप सब डेलीगेट्स को मालूम है, मैंने जो बोला मोटा मोटा गेट्स और नगरी के बारे में, सुधाकर रेड्डी नगर है, राजू अतुलंजन के नाम से ये हॉल है, मेन गेट कानम रेजिडेंट के नाम पे है और जोगिंदर दयाल के नाम पे फूड कॉम्प्लेक्स है। रजिस्ट्रेशन जो काउंसिल मीटिंग्स के लिए भी कंटिन्यू रहेगा, दर्शन सिंह कैनेडियन है और जो वेलकम कर रहा है आपको मेन गेट वो कानम रेजिडेंट के नाम पे है। तो इसमें 5 दिन प्रोसीडिंग्स चलेंगी। वेलकम कमेटी बहुत कुछ सबके लिए कर रही है और साथी ने यहाँ पर अपना एड्रेस देके पंजाब की कुर्बानियों को और देश और विदेश की जो आज की चिंताएं उसका भी जिक्र किया। अब इस ओपन इनॉग्रल सेशन में फॉर्मल इनॉग्रल एड्रेस महासचिव डी राजा करेंगे। सो आई एम रिक्वेस्टिंग कॉमरेड डी राजा टू गिव हिज फॉर्मल इनॉग्रल एड्रेस इन दिस ओपन सेशन।
Comrades of the Presidium, comrade delegates, leaders of the left parties, comrades friends, I welcome you all to this 25th Congress of our party, the Communist Party of India. I welcome each delegate who has travelled across the country to be here in the party congress. I welcome the leaders of the parties, Comrade Baby, Comrade Bhupinder, Comrade Devarajan, Comrade Manoj, who are our beloved comrades who stand with us shoulder to shoulder in our struggle against fascism and anti-people forces in the country. Comrades, we meet here not as individuals but as a collective. Everything with us, the hopes and struggles of millions of our toiling people, toiling masses. Comrades, this Congress is taking place along with the centenary of the Communist Party of India. Our party was born in the fire of the anti-colonial struggle, nourished by the sacrifices of generations and still by century of confrontation with imperialism, communalism, exploitation and oppression. To hold our party congress in this year, marking 100 years of the glorious history, is not only a matter of pride but also a call to new responsibility. Before we go further, we must pause to remember our beloved comrades who are not physically with us today, but whose memory and legacy will always remain with us. We remember Comrade Suravaram Sudhakar Reddy, whose life was dedicated to building the party and guiding us with his wisdom and clarity. We remember Comrade Suravaram Sudhakar Reddy, who is no more with us. Comrade Atul Kumar Anjan, a tireless fighter for the rights of the peasants and workers, whose voice powerfully echoed the concerns of our country. We remember Comrade Kanam Rajendran, a pillar of strength in Kerala and a fighter who embodied the militant and mass character of our party. Their passing has left us poorer, but their contributions enrich our struggle. This Congress is also a tribute to them, tribute to those comrades and their legacy. We should also be conscious that the Congress is taking place on the historic soil of Punjab. Punjab is a land that has given India some of its tallest heroes. It was here that the Gadar movement was born under the leadership of Jagmohan Singh, Bakana. It was here that young Kartar Singh, Sarvana, he raised the banner of revolution against the mighty British Empire. It was from this land that Udham Singh avenged the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, and it was here that Bhagat Singh, our Bhagat Singh, grew into one of the greatest revolutionaries that country has ever produced. Notwithstanding the call of Inaugural Zindabad, now it is reverberating all over the country. Comrades, the people of Punjab in general have always been at the forefront of sacrifices, whether in the anti-colonial struggle, in the struggles of peasants and workers, or in defending the unity of the country. The Communist Party itself has deep roots in this land. Our Congress has been hosted here thrice. This is fourth time at Amritsar Congress, Amritsar. We have Party Congress.
Defending the unity of the country.
It was in the year 1958. Then we had Party Congress in Batinda in 1978 after emergency. I led party congress in the same Chandigarh city in 2005.
Amritsar Congress,
Each time,
Amritsar.
Punjab has
We had
provided
party congress.
inspiration to the entire party,
Because
energy
in the year
and
1998,
new direction to the movement.
that
We
had
must
party
also
congress
remember the
in particular
blood
in
of hundreds of our comrades
after
who laid down
emergency.
their lives in this very land
And we had party
fighting
congress in the same
fanaticism
Chandigarh city in
and terrorism.
Punjab
The
has
name of
provided
Comrade
inspiration
Darshan Singh Canodian
inspiration
and
to the entire party.
countless
Energy
others will always
and new
remain
direction to the
on integral part of our Reddy study, integral part of the Communist Party's history,
We must
the Reddy
also
study.
remember the
Comrades, we gather at a time when the world is undergoing deep turmoil.
of
The suffering
hundreds
of
our
the
comrades.
Palestinian people continues. Entire generations in Gaza are being wiped out
who
by
laid down their
Israel
lives in
with
this
the full support of US
very land
imperialism.
fighting
The barbarity is unending. The so-called
searching
rules-based world order stands
countless
exposed as nothing but
Countless
the rules
others.
of imperialist domination
will
across
always
West Asia
remain
and Africa. Wars and conflicts
on
are
integral
tearing societies
part of
apart,
our Reddy study.
driven not by the needs of people,
Integral part of
but by the
Communist
hunger
Party's study, the
of
Reddy's.
imperialist
Comrades,
powers
we gather
for oil, gas,
at a time
minerals,
when the world
and strategic control.
is undergoing
The inter-imperialist rivalries between the United States and
the
Europe
suffering of the
are
Palestinian
sharpening. Donald Trump
people.
is trying to weaponize tariffs to
Entire
coerce the nations into domination, trying to uphold the dependent hegemony of the US and the West. The world order we see is precisely what Lenin, the great Lenin, described more than a century ago in his classic work, Imperialism, the highest stage of capitalism. Monopoly capital, finance capital, international cartels, inter-imperialist rivalries, wars, every future is, he analyzed, is present before us today, is in new and more dangerous forms. What Lenin has described, that is before us in a new and dangerous forms. At the same time, humanity is facing a terrible contradiction. We have, in the age of unprecedented, we live in the age of unprecedented technological advancement. Science and technology have reached heights never imagined before. The productive capacity of humanity is vast, and yet the living standards of the majority of people are declining. Hunger stalks the world. Inequality is at grotesque levels. Health and education, remain privileges for the few, not rights of all. Education is not right. Education, health is not right for all, but they remain privileges for a few people. Why this is so? Because the capitalist model of development is inherently exploitative, inherently incapable of ensuring prosperity for all. Capitalism can never ensure prosperity for all. Capitalism thrives not by satisfying human needs, but by producing profit for a handful. This is why we see environmental catastrophe. Today, the capitalist system loots the nature in the same way it loots individual lives. Entire communities forced to displacement as climate refugees. Yet there is resistance. There is resistance. We must be optimistic. We must be hopeful for the future. In Latin America, once again, the left is emerging, winning governments and challenging the imperialist dictators. Alternative global formations between countries of the global south are resisting the imperialist designs. Now, in Bangladesh, in Sri Lanka, in Nepal, we have seen massive people's movements against corruption, against economic collapse, against authoritarian rulers. These struggles have produced different political outcomes, from progressive, some disappointing, but they all show the same truth. People's anger is simmering across the world. People's anger across the world. People are refusing to accept misery as fate. Now people do not want to agree that misery is what is fate written on your head. It is destiny. No. People are refusing to accept that. People are refusing to accept the misery as fate. However, about the intervention of the left without a revolutionary and democratic direction, such anger risks being captured by right-wing, sectarian and authoritarian forces. This is why the role of communists and left forces worldwide is decisive to connect with the mass struggles, to give them clarity and to channel them towards socialism and democracy. It is the task before the left and communist movements. Comrades, our own country is passing through an equally critical period. India is passing through a critical period. The year 2014 was a watershed movement. The coming of BJP to power with an absolute majority was not just a change of government. It was a qualitative change in the nature of our polity, in the nature of our polity. It was a qualitative change. For the first time, the RSS, the organization which never took part in our great freedom struggle, which opposed the very constitution of India, which has been given to us by the prime architect Dr. Ambedkar and galaxy of leaders. RSS, which has always harbored contempt for secular democracy, took full control of the Union government through its political arm, the BJP. Since then, we are witnessing systematic assault on the very foundations of Indian Republic. Parliament has been reduced to be redundant. Parliament becomes redundant. Where is the democracy? That's what we should understand. The judiciary is pressurized and weakened. Federalism is trampled upon. Federalism. After all, Constitution defines India, that is Bharat, union of states. Union of states. It is not unitary. Union of states. So, federalism is trampled upon. The media is lured and turned. The media is turned into a propaganda machine. Scientific institutions are choked. Minorities are demonized, persecuted. Dalits, Adivasis, women and the poor are subjected to growing violence. RSS is trying to polarize the people, instigate violence at all levels. The BJP RSS project, their design, is nothing less than the attempt to convert our secular democratic republic into a theocratic nation, into a Hindu Rashtra, which is hierarchical, theocratic and fascist. Let us recall here the warning given by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar on the floor of the Constituent Assembly. He said that the idea of Hindu Rashtra would be the greatest calamity for our nation. If theocratic nation, India becomes theocratic nation, that is the biggest calamity for India, whose words, Ambedkar's words, ring truer, very true today than ever before. The calamity that Ambedkar feared is what the BJP RSS are trying to impose on India. And they are doing so by combining the most aggressive communal politics with the most ruthless crony capitalism. Today, who are being patronized to loot the country, to loot the people, Adanis, Ambanis, we all know. A handful of corporate houses are being given complete control over resources, our infrastructure, even our policies, privatization of public sector, dismantling of labor rights, destruction of welfare programs. All of this is happening hand in hand with communal polarization, suppression of dissent, and authoritarian rule. This is the model of fascism in India. Authoritarianism, politics, plus monopoly capitalism, it allowed to continue. If this is allowed to continue, it will destroy not only democracy, but also the very idea of India as a plural, inclusive, democratic republic. The 2024 elections showed the resistance, that resistance is possible, that India bloc was able to bring down BJP's tally in parliament to 240, depriving BJP of a majority, single party majority. This was setback to the fascist forces, but let us not be complacent. The bloc lacked cohesion, lacked clarity of objectives, lacked a common agenda beyond electoral arithmetic. To defeat fascism, we need more than numbers. We need political unity based on clear principles. We need secularism, democracy, social justice, and people's welfare at the core. This is where the left has a decisive role. The left is the most consistent and uncompromising force against fascist forces, fascist designs. Left is not a matter of left unity is not a matter of convenience. It is a historic necessity. That is what our party feels. Left unity is a historic necessity. It alone can provide ideological clarity, moral legitimacy, and organizational strength to the broader opposition. Only the left can provide an alternative vision rooted in equality, secularism, democracy, and socialism. Comrades, the BJP's reckless policies have created multifaceted crisis. Unemployment is an unprecedented high, is at unprecedented high. With our youth losing hope in the future, public education and health are being dismantled, handed over to private profiteers. Food security is under attack, with public distribution system being eroded and hunger increasing in our country. The farmers or kisans are being betrayed even after their historic struggle. We all witnessed, particularly the farmers from Punjab, Rajasthan, Haryana, they were in the forefront of the historic struggle. And they came to Delhi and they were not allowed to enter into Delhi, but they did not move. They surrounded Delhi and led this historic struggle. Media, this housing, when we talk of poor people, housing for the poor remains a dream. Media has been stripped of neutrality, turned into a weapon of lies and hate. If you go through any media, you find how falsehoods are spread and lies are spread. And inequality has reached shameful extremes in India, in countries of global south, we must say. With a new, a few billionaires richer than the entire population of the bottom of, in India it happens, a few Adanis, Ambanis, they are richer than the bottom 50% of our population. This is not accidental. This is the direct outcome of the communal corporate nexus. On one side communal, on the other side corporate. This is the nexus that is emerging in India. And this is represented by BJP and RSS. We must today say it clearly. Unless BJP is removed from power, unless the poison of their ideology is purged from society and institutions, India cannot survive as a democracy. India cannot survive as a democracy. That is why the common resolve was declared. Desh Bachao, BJP Hatao. Desh Bachao, BJP Hatao. Even in Bihar, the slogan is Badlo Sarkar, Bachao Bihar. Everywhere, that is the concern expressed by the people. What then are our tasks? What are the tasks we have? We must build the Communist Party of India stronger, deeper in the struggles of workers, peasants, women, youth, students, Dalits, Adivasis, and all marginalized sections. The second task, I think, we must overcome narrowness and forge greater left unity, and present a clear ideological banner before the nation. Left is here, and left stands united, and we have a vision for India, an ideological vision. Third, we must work for the broadest possible unity of secular democratic forces. Not on opportunistic electoral calculations, but on the basis of defending the constitution, people's rights, and federalism. Fourth, we must deepen our engagement in mass movements for employment, education, health, gender justice, caste annihilation, environmental protection, and democratic rights. We must also learn to raise new forms of communication, including digital platforms, to connect with the younger generation and to spread the socialist vision. So, comrades, as we inaugurate the 25th Congress of the party, let us remember we are the heirs to a century of struggles. From the Gadar movement to the martyrs of Telangana, from the workers of Bombay, Kolkata, and Puducherry, to the peasants of Punjab, Bengal, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu, from the anti-colonial battles to the present defense of democracy, the party has always been the voice of the voiceless, the defender of the downtrodden people, the vanguard of the justice. We should be proud that we are the vanguard of justice for the people. Bhagat Singh said that revolution is not about bombs, and pistols. This is what Bhagat Singh said. Bhagat Singh said that the revolution is not about bombs and pistols, but about radical transformation of society, of the society as a whole. That remains our mission. We want a radical transformation of Indian society. That is our mission. The centenary of CPI is not just about celebrating the past. Yes, we celebrate, but it is not just celebrating the past, but about taking up the call of the future, what we are going to do in the future, what we will do for the future. So that is what we should understand. The Congress must send, the Congress must send out a clear message to the people of India. We will resist fascism. We will defend the constitution. We will fight for employment, education, health, food, housing, and above all, dignity of the people. Right to dignity will have to be defended. That is what our constitution says. We will build an India of equality. We, the people of India, must feel we are equal. So we will have to build the India. We will have to fight for a new India that is of equality, secularism, democracy, and socialism. Our whole perspective is, whole mission is to change the country and build the country as a socialist one. And we shall march forward. Now, the leaders of left are here. They are also discussing, and we will have to put our heads together. We will have to put our efforts together how to strengthen the mass upheaval against the present society, present rulers. That's what we should think over. Our party Congress gives this message, and we will have to carry forward this message. So, comrades, as just to inaugurate this Congress, I outlined certain issues, I outlined certain tasks before us, and we will have to work towards that mission, and for which we need to strengthen our party also. So let us strengthen the CPI, and let us strengthen the left unity, communist unity. So comrades, I conclude by saying, long live the Communist Party of India. Long live the Communist Party of India. Long live the left unity. Long live the left unity. Inqulab Zindabad. Inqulab Zindabad. Lal Salam Congress. I formally inaugurate the 25th Congress of the party.
Next, Comrade, formal inaugural address by General Secretary. And all of you know we hoisted national flag and hoisted Communist Party flag. Then we entered this hall. Those who came late, for their information, the national flag was hoisted by uncle of Bhagat Singh. Bhagat Singh was his nephew. And uncle of Bhagat Singh hoisted the flag. So Bhagat Singh was nephew of Professor Jagmohan Singh. That's what I am saying. Don't worry. Uncle of Bhagat Singh hoisted the flag, I said. So Bhagat Singh was nephew. I'm just saying reverse. That's why comrades are correcting me. So, Professor Jagmohan Singh, I am requesting him to come on the dais. Nephew of Comrade Bhagat Singh. ये उनके भांजे थे कॉमरेड भगत सिंह के. Our party flag was hoisted by Comrade Bhupinder Sambar. I request him to come on the dais.
Stop live, you stop live.
I say sorry to all of you. I was just making mistake.
Yes, it's not good. Comrade, ये जो चल रहा है ये अभी लाइव नहीं है, पर ये लाइव होना चाहिए कि नहीं होना चाहिए?
रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है सारा,
ठीक है,
लाइव ही हो गया.
हलीना करे लाइव, हलीना करे जो
So,
अभी तो लाइव नहीं
comrades,
कर. We don't need to start live right now.
now we will have greetings from our left leaders, our colleagues, friends, comrades. The speeches of welcome address by Suravaram Singh and inaugural address by Comrade Raja, both were there in your bags. For media, the copies are there. Our comrades will distribute it to them. Similarly, all the left leaders sent their messages in writing also. They will be delivering speech and their messages will also be given to the delegates. Presently, we will hand over to the press and media. So my request to Comrade M.A. Baby, please come and greet 25th Congress. He is newly elected General Secretary of CPIM. All of you already know it. I am just mentioning.
Space walk on the street.
Comrades of the Presidium, veteran leaders of the communist movement, my esteemed beloved colleagues of left parties and delegates and observers. Perhaps you might have noticed I am suffering from throat pain and problems, related problems. Doctors have advised me to give complete rest to throat. Some of you may think that the doctor gave him that advice in anticipation of the plight of the delegates in the CPI Congress. What would happen if such an advice is not given to him? Maybe some of you with a sense of humor would think on those lines. However, whatever little voice would be left within a communist worker, if she or he is not doing his duty of communicating with fellow comrades in a party congress, why should that person should have at least little voice? Therefore, I always respect doctor's advice, but maybe this would be the only occasion when I can refuse to listen to the advice of the doctor to give voice. Now, comrades who have spoken before me, my very beloved comrade Raja, as well as the leader of the reception committee, comprehensively covered very many relevant aspects that a meeting like this, a party congress like this, when it meets in this part of the world and country, because when the revolutionary movement fighting against colonialism emerged during the times of total domination of colonial power, British power, over the entire globe, revolutionary buds sprouted in different corners of the world. Comrades from Punjab went and formed the first revolutionary organization in San Francisco, 4 years ahead of the Great October Socialist Revolution. That is the Gandhar movement. Like that. And justifiably, this Congress, 25th Congress of CPI, is coinciding with a historic landmark of the development of Indian Communist movement. That was the 100th year of the founding conference being held within the country, Kanpur, in 1925. That's a very significant historical junction. And we know, 5 years ahead of that, communists had another meeting with M.N. Roy and others in Tashkent. These are all landmarks. So those days, we were not getting confined to smaller and smaller places. We were spreading out to all parts of the world. And the struggle for the liberation of humanity from exploitation, that was coming up, willing to sacrifice anything. For example, Comrade Bhupinder Singh has been referred to. In 1915, he along with other comrades were hanged at the age of 19. He would have been a leader of the student movement. So those were the times. Now, okay, we can take inspiration from all these memories and there is nothing wrong. But now the question that we all need to ask is, now, how do we go? How do we face the challenges we are faced with? Because those who were compromising with colonial powers those days, they are now calling the shots in our country. This is the reality. They are not only calling the shots, they are distorting history. From the ramparts of Red Fort, a person who without any shame claims that Savarkar is his guru. And Savarkar, who was one of the accused in the murder case of Mahatma Gandhi, he escaped capital punishment or all that because of mere technical grounds. Is part of history. And this person is having obtained an opportunity to give Independence Day speech from the rampart. Then he eulogizes RSS. Great service did to the nation. The organization which he places, the Prime Minister of our country places, RSS, Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. The then government, with Sardar Patel as the Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister, had to ban RSS for their connection with Mahatma Ji's murder. It's part of history. And his Prime Minister, without any shame, says all this. So this is the reality. So there is a great lesson we need to learn and we need to take to the new generation in our country. Comrade Raja made a reference to Bhagat Singh, what he said. I take my argument further from there. The transformation of Bhagat Singh is very, very important.
टेबल डाल लेना कहाँ है एक और टेबल अभी लगा बोलो उसको
What he said, bomb or pistol, that's not what is important. But at some point in the time, bomb and pistol were things which he was using. He started like that. When he started understanding what is communist movement, he started reading Lenin. When he was to be taken to the gallows, they asked whether he needs any last wish to be fulfilled. He said, yes, there is a wish. I need little more time because one revolutionary is meeting another revolutionary. He was reading Lenin. I wanted to complete the portion which I am reading. That is the only thing he wanted to do. That transformation that had happened in Bhagat Singh. Bhagat Singh is, when you look at freedom struggle, we find Mahatma Gandhi is an incomparable process. No doubt about it. Mahatma Gandhi is Mahatma Gandhi. When we had a leader like Mahatma Gandhi, Bhagat Singh was also able to stand up, and he continues to be counted. The writings of Bhagat Singh, I do not know whether we have given serious attention to that sufficiently. I am making a self-critical observation. So the message of Bhagat Singh, the left and communist movement should be able to take to the new generation. Otherwise, the so-called Gen Z would come and influence the new generation. Gen Z their energies can be properly channelized also. But we need to, in a appropriate manner, suitable to the present times and to the present generation, how Bhagat Singh was transforming himself through his own experiences, reading and so on. And new generation has to be addressed. Whatever resolutions my party Congress or CPI party Congress or Comrade Bhupinder party Congress or the organizations of Manoj and Devarajan and others, we can pass resolutions. That's important. We have to have our correct perspective. And we can nuance also and discuss whether this is this or that, or this has fully come or not. All that is okay. Part of it is our communist tradition. But we have to spend time. And we all really to address the new generation. Their Bhagat Singh can be a very big lesson. The way in which he transformed himself. Now, Donald Trump is giving us an opportunity. Triple T. Tariff terrorism of Trump. We can describe it.
Yes.
This is how imperialism is. We all know how he is declaring tariff against India. First, for not concluding the trade negotiation within the stipulated time, 25%. Another 25% for buying oil from Russia. We remember, but for God's sake, I want to remind.
Yes, of Delhi.
Tariff on Brazil. Because Lula da Silva
I
government,
heard your name.
as per the law of that land,
I heard
Brazil,
your name.
they found
Punjab.
the previous president,
Vivek.
Bolsonaro,
Vivek.
who was conducting himself almost like Donald Trump. Maybe that's the reason. Brazil proceeded against Bolsonaro. So Trump says, since Brazilian judicial system is proceeding against my friend Bolsonaro, tariff on you.
All pictures are copies. Yes. Up to today.
Now today's papers have quoted that for the 40th time or so, Trump made his claim for Nobel Peace Prize. So maybe Nobel Peace Committee would be shuddering in their seats. If Nobel Peace Committee failed to present the Nobel Peace Prize to Trump, how he will declare tariff on Peace Committee or the members of the countries from where this Peace Committee. So it's a but it may appear to be lunatic, but there is a system in which the imperialist domination and the proclamation that we are calling the shot, we are the biggest military power in the world. And through a subterfuge, we have a dollar domination over the world. It's a subterfuge. I don't want to go into the, intricacies of it.
Hello.
They are trying to rule the world. And Trump thinks he is not just the president of USA. He is the not president of the world. He is the Vishwa Maharaja. That is how Trump is trying to behave. Now, what the communist or left forces should realize is that this is giving an opportunity for us. Reference was made about what Lenin said, the highest stage of imperialism, the highest stage of capitalism. How anti-people, inhuman, anti-environment, the capitalist and imperialist exploitative system could be, is getting revealed, exposed again and again. So this opportunity, we will have to approach various sections of people. Countries are also compelled to shake up their old inhibitions. The meeting that had taken place in the structure of Shanghai Cooperation Organization. But Indian bourgeois, Indian ruling classes would always try to bargain with this side and that side. BRICS, we are there. Shanghai Cooperation Organization, we are there. But the present RSS controlled BJP government is positively reacting to the BRICS Plus or Shanghai Cooperation Organization only when it becomes suitable or only when they are compelled to. That is obvious. So, the international political situation, I don't want to mention Gaza. Because if you mention Gaza, then we have to keep silent for moments and moments. Thinking about the pangs of the children, women, old people. A genocidal erasure of a civilization, of a piece of, for them it's a piece of land. They want to do business there, real estate business and development they want to make. On this issue also, different forms of campaign, we the left parties, bringing in other sections of society, you may have to launch. Here, it is correct that first of all, the unity of the left forces, that is very important. But that is to further expand the scope of our activity and struggle. Because we have to be objectively realistic. Our limitations we should understand. But our strength we should not forget. We are the only consistent, systematic, scientific group of people and organizations analyzing and understanding things accurately. But large sections of people are outside our influence. How we would be able to reach out to them and also find out social groups, mass and class organizations, how we can build unity. This is the most important task. I am in agreement with the concept of left unity. Now, in a very considerable extent, we have been cooperating, we have been issuing statements on a variety of issues. The brutal, illegal, terrorist attack on a group of misguided friends, Maoists, who are working among tribals. Let us not go into other things. Our political differences are very obvious, those of us who are sitting. But in a civilized society, can a group of people is not no encounter. It is just manufactured and concocted and the most horrible part of it is many youngsters having been rounded up from custody, then they are asked to go. Now you can go. Why? When they go innocent, they are being shot. Then it is recorded. This is happening in front of the whole media. I don't know what committed media is doing. But we have come together and we have written a letter to the Prime Minister. They have sections came out and said that we are willing to discuss. But Government of India is not willing to discuss. So such clear manifestations of fascistic behavior from the part of the government. This is continuing. This has been pointed out as a case in point, but there are any number of such instances. Here we should also remember they have their own business plan also as part of this annihilation of any form of resistance among the Adivasis. These areas, many of these areas are 6 scheduled areas. Enormous, valuable, strategically important mineral deposits are there. These are sought to be handed over to the people. The present dispensation in Delhi would take support for financial support. Adanis and Ambanis. Assam happened to go there for some programs. So comrades told me, scheduled area where eviction is prohibited, that land cannot be handed over to any industrial purpose without certain procedure. But having identified very huge deposits of very valuable rare earths and minerals, this eviction of tribals are carried out in a systematic manner. Bulldozer is being used. Attacks on minorities, attacks on Dalits, women, all this is rampant. Then the entire electoral process. Election Commission of India becoming a tool in the hands of the ruling party. already mention has been made, and we know much about that. In this situation, we have to discuss about not only strengthening the left and democratic trend and alternatives. Wherever the LDF is able to gain a hegemony, how to protect it and further strengthen it is very, very important. Within months, Bihar is going to go in for election. There, 3 left parties have substantial presence there. And in that, CPI-ML has relatively better influence than other 2 communist parties. We communists should recognize these facts. There, within the structure of Mahagandbandhan, we should have a very, very clear-cut plan to show that the machinations of election commission, the SIR, they developed for capturing Bihar. The Mahagandbandhan would be in a position to prevent that. In that, left can also play an important role. That role left should be able to play. And if you are successful in that, it will have a fatal blow at the fascist forces in our country. So this priority, Mahagandbandhan as a whole, and left within that should be able to understand and take forward. After that, within months, there will be elections in other states. All those states are important for the left. Beginning from Assam, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Pondicherry, and Kerala. Kerala is the only state in our country where we have a left-led, left and non-left democratic parties together. It has gained a political miracle by being in the government 2 consecutive terms. In the recent past history of Kerala, that's a new experience. Kerala is gearing for continuation of the LDF continuity in office. Here, apart from this particular political point, what is there for us to say about Kerala? What is the left alternative? The question would come. I am very sure that during the course of the party congress, when you have deliberation, this aspect would also be subjected for discussion. Recently we had the national celebration, Onam celebration, and civil supplies is taken care of by CPI Comrade. Anil is sitting there. Congratulations to you. This was one of the Onam celebrations where nobody had any complaint. Generally, civil supplies corporation, ration shop, then finance minister would be called to question, pension, welfare pension, this and that. KSRTC employees, let me go into the details. Not only this, by another couple of months, when the anniversary of the Kerala state formation comes on 1st of November, all indications are that Kerala would be the first state in the entire India which is free from acute poverty. Acute poverty eradication campaign is being carried out in Kerala. total literacy was achieved in Kerala. Now total digital literacy also has been achieved in Kerala. This is the only state in the country where total digital literacy has been achieved. I am saying all this. Don't mistake me that since I am from Kerala, I am saying all this. This is the LDF government of Kerala doing. Even if anybody else was the General Secretary of CPI or CPM, these games of the left need to be stopped. I will conclude this part by referring to Vaishak visit, where all of us are struggling against the privatization of Vaishak steel plant. Kerala, central government wanted to privatize a central PSU in Kerala, Vellore newsprint factory, Hindustan newsprint factory. From the KP Rajan is supplying me with more facts, exact name. It is called Vellore newsprint also, but is national newsprint factory. Hindustan. In good sense, there are the usage of Hindustan in many occasions, traditionally. So what did Kerala government tell the central government? If you want to sell your shares, you can sell. But Kerala state government is willing to take it. Don't go for privatization. That was the attitude of the central government, long and short. The LDF government of Kerala fought with central government, and when central government wanted to privatize its firm, state Kerala LDF government did not permit that, and LDF government took it over from the central government, and it is run in profit in Kerala. This is also a Kerala. So, we need to highlight the relevance of the LDF alternative when we carry forward our struggles. Comrade Sai did not go through the text of my speech due to a variety of reasons, including it may take time. And most of the grounds are already covered by Comrade Raja and the welcome speech. It was also a conversation. And I am very sure other comrades, when they speak, they would also be generally in agreement with this overall framework that we have. So in the coming days, how we can take forward the left unity. At party level, we are cooperating. Why don't we think about the mass and class organization where our party comrades are working? Cannot we sit? Earlier we had national platform of mass organization. We had GEJA. We had various structures. Of course, July 9th, strike, all India strike. We are organized together. So we have to have some permanent cooperation at different levels. In the field of culture, we need to cooperate more intimately. Because this entire fascistic project is being carried out, masquerading it as a cultural project. They call it cultural nationalism. Not culture, not national. But that is how RSS is advancing its project. So in the field of culture, we have to develop a broad platform and cooperation. Class and mass organizations can cooperate, and we need to further expand our area of activity in the coming times. Sooner or later, I don't have any doubt that the collective strength of the left and democratic forces in our country would develop as a decisive force in galvanizing far larger sections of society. We have to independently grow. Each left party has to grow. Then we have to cooperate with others we should be able to attract masses, unemployed youth. As per the latest study, in the age group of 20 to 24, 45% unemployment. This is a shocking situation. So they are waiting there for us to approach them and bring them together. I hope the deliberations and decisions of the 25th CPI Congress would come out with clear-cut understanding so that we would be able to harness our forces and go forward. Let's salute and greetings to all the delegates. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Comrade Baby, for your greeting message, thoughtful suggestions from your side for strengthening electoral unity. Now I request Comrade Bant Barar, Nirmal Dhaliwal, Comrade Hardev Arshi and Comrade Jagru to give a memento to Comrade M.A. Baby. Please come, four of you. So next, I request Comrade Dipankar Bhattacharya, General Secretary of CPI ML Liberation. Please come and read the Congress.
Comrades of the Presidium, Comrade D. Raja and other leaders of the parties, the National Executive and National Council members of the CPI, and all comrades and friends present in this Comrade Aturan Hall in Sudhakar Reddy, Nagar. So my warm greetings to all of you for what I hope will be a very successful 25th Congress of the CPI, and especially this Congress is happening against the backdrop of the centenary of the CPI. So it makes it a matter of double pleasure, double honor for me to be able to greet you on this occasion. Usually, when I speak, I don't have a written text. For me, the conversion is always from speech to text and not the other way around. This time, because Comrade Raja wanted me to submit a written message in advance, I have done it, but that is in English. That will be distributed hopefully. But permit me to say a few words in Hindi. So I will, based on this text, but also probably add a few things in the light of the present situation in Punjab. तो साथियों, कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी स्थापना के 100 साल मेरे लिए कम्युनिस्ट संगठित कम्युनिस्ट आंदोलन 100 साल हिंदुस्तान में, और जाहिर सी बात है कि जब इतना शानदार एक इतिहास इसको लेकर के हम लोग आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, उस इतिहास से हमेशा प्रेरणा मिलती है, ऊर्जा मिलती है। और पिछले करीब 45 साल से मैं भी कम्युनिस्ट आंदोलन में हूँ, और मैं खुशकिस्मत रहा कि चाहे बंगाल हो, बिहार हो, झारखंड हो, देश के हर हिस्से में हमें बहुत सारे पुराने कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी के नेता मिले हैं, सब याद आते हैं, जिन लोगों से बहुत सीखने के लिए मिला, जिन तमाम लोगों से बहुत प्यार मिला, बहुत, इसलिए वो तमाम यादें हैं। पिछले ही अपने पार्टी कांग्रेस में कॉमरेड सुधाकर रेड्डी थे और आज हमारे बीच में नहीं है। कॉमरेड अतुल रंजन थे और आज हमारे बीच में नहीं है। कॉमरेड सीताराम येचुरी कल तक थे और आज हमारे बीच में नहीं है। उन तमाम कम्युनिस्ट आंदोलन के शहीदों को, उन तमाम हमारे बिछड़े हुए साथियों को आज आपके इस पार्टी महाधिवेशन के मंच से मैं सलाम करता हूँ और ये संकल्प लेता हूँ कि उनके अधूरे काम को पूरा करने के लिए, उनके मिशन को पूरा करने के लिए जितनी भी ताकत है ताकत लगा दें और शहीदों के अरमानों को जरूर मंजिल तक पहुँचाने की कोशिश करें। ये पंजाब है, हम हमेशा कर्तव्य सिंह सरावा का नाम लेते हैं, भगत सिंह का नाम लेते हैं, अशफाकुल्लाह का नाम लेते हैं उस दौर के। तो वो दौर जहाँ जब कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी नहीं बनी थी या बहुत सारे हमारे साथी जो शायद औपचारिक रूप से कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी के मेंबर नहीं थे लेकिन अपने विचारों में, अपनी कुर्बानी में, अपने लक्ष्यों में बिल्कुल कम्युनिस्ट थे। मैं मानता हूँ कि हमारे देश के कम्युनिस्ट आंदोलन के वो पायोनियर्स थे। भगत सिंह के रचनाओं में आपको कम्युनिस्ट मूवमेंट का एक कार्यक्रम मिल जाएगा, कोई फॉर्मल नहीं लेकिन बिल्कुल एक बाकायदा अपने नौजवान साथियों से जो अपील कर रहे थे भगत सिंह, तो मैं मानता हूँ कि हिंदुस्तान में कम्युनिस्ट मूवमेंट के लिए, कम्युनिस्ट आंदोलन के लिए सबसे पहला कोई प्रोग्राम का अगर मसविदा है वो हमें कॉमरेड भगत सिंह से मिलता है। तो तमाम नेताओं को भी, शहीदों को भी सलाम। हम ये भूल नहीं सकते कि अगर हमने 100 साल पूरे किए हैं, हम अपने शताब्दी मना रहे हैं इस देश में और एक शताब्दी भी कुछ लोग मना रहे हैं और पिछले 100 साल से ये दो जो अलग अलग ट्रेजेक्टरी है जो एक दूसरे के खिलाफ है, एक तरह से आमने सामने की ताकतें हैं और आज वो हमारे सामने बिल्कुल आर पार की लड़ाई है। जिस दौर में कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी बनी, चाहे आप कानपुर की बात करें या ताशकंद की बात करें, वो दुनिया में उस दौर में कम्युनिस्ट पार्टियां बनी हैं रूस के इनकलाब से प्रेरणा लेकर के 1917 की बात। और उस समय दुनिया ने सोचा था कि शायद रूस के इनकलाब के बाद पूरे यूरोप में और भी कई देशों में इनकलाब होंगे। जर्मनी में रोजा लक्समबर्ग ने, लिबनेक ने, बहुत सारे साथियों ने शहादत दे दी एक क्रांति को सफल बनाने की कोशिश में, लेकिन क्रांति नहीं हो पाई। लेकिन हम सब लोग जानते हैं कि 1917 में रूस के इनकलाब के ठीक 5 साल बाद इटली में मुसोलिनी आ जाते हैं और दुनिया भर में ये जो फांसीवाद आज हम कह रहे हैं उस पूरे फांसीवाद सर उठाता है और उसका जो नज़ारा है तब से हम देख रहे हैं। और इसीलिए हमने अगर रूस के इनकलाब से ऊर्जा लेकर के आज़ादी के आंदोलन से अपनी जिम्मेदारी को समझते हुए कम्युनिस्ट आंदोलन ने अगर अपने को संगठित किया, जो आरएसएस है उसने उसी मुसोलिनी से, हिटलर से, उसी दौर के फांसीवाद से, उससे ताकत लेकर के, उसकी नकल करते हुए, उससे प्रेरणा लेकर के वो हिंदुस्तान में उसने अपना विस्तार किया। हमारे सामने थे आज़ादी के आंदोलन और उनके सामने था उस आज़ादी के आंदोलन के खिलाफ अंग्रेजों के पक्ष में खड़े होकर के मुखबिरी करते हुए हिंदुस्तान में जो भी पुराना सड़ा गला जो कुछ भी है उसको मजबूत करने का कार्यभार उसके पास था। जिस मनुस्मृति को बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर ने, संविधान तो लिखा गया 1949 में, देश को आज़ादी मिली 47 में और 1927 में बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर उस मनुस्मृति को पब्लिकली उसको जला देते हैं। ये गुलामी का दस्तावेज है और हिंदुस्तान को आगे बढ़ना है तो इस गुलामी के दस्तावेज को जलाते हुए, इसको तोड़ते हुए ही देश को आगे बढ़ना है। और ये आरएसएस 1949 में जब संविधान पारित हो रहा है तब वो खुल के कह रहे थे कि भाई इस देश संविधान में कुछ भी भारतीय नहीं है, भारत का असली संविधान तो मनुस्मृति है। तो जाहिर सी बात है कि वो आरएसएस आज अगर उसके हाथ में राज सत्ता है तो आरएसएस आज देश में क्या कर रहा है, क्या करेगा, इसके लिए हमें मोहन भागवत का भाषण सुनने की जरूरत नहीं है। 100 साल से जो लोग इतिहास को देख रहे हैं वो सब लोग जानते हैं कि आरएसएस हिंदुस्तान में फांसीवाद के वाहक बन करके उसी समय विचार पहले था और आप उस विचार को पूरी योजनाबद्ध तरीके से हमारे ऊपर थोपने का, पूरे देश के लोकतंत्र को खत्म करने का, इस संविधान को खत्म करने का उनको मौका मिल रहा है। और निश्चित तौर पर जो भी मौका जब भी उनको मिला है हर मौके का इस्तेमाल उन्होंने इसी काम के लिए, इसी मकसद के लिए किया है, आज जो कर रहे हैं। और इसीलिए हम सबके सामने बहुत बड़ी चुनौती है, बहुत बड़ी लड़ाई है जिसको हम टाल नहीं सकते। ये लड़ाई आज नहीं तो हम कल या परसों नहीं लड़ सकते। दिस बैटल हैज टू बी fought and won here and now। आज हम लोगों को हिंदुस्तान में ये जो फांसीबाग हमारे सामने है, इससे निपटने के लिए हम किसी अगली पीढ़ी के लिए इंतजार नहीं कर सकते हैं, और इसके लिए हम सिर्फ पुराने इतिहास को याद करने से भी काम नहीं चलेगा। ये लड़ाई हम सबको लड़ना है। जाहिर सी बात है कि हम सब लोग लड़ रहे हैं। फांसीबाग, अगर उसके बहुत सारे पहलू पर हम बात करें, अगर हम सांप्रदायिकता की बात करें, तो सांप्रदायिकता से भी जिस समय 1857 के बाद जब अंग्रेजों को लगा इस देश में बिना फूट डाले हम राज नहीं कर सकते, जब अजीमुल्ला खान ने 1857 में, वो शायर थे उस दौर के, जब उन्होंने लिख दिया ये है हम है इसके मालिक, हिंदुस्तान हमारा, ये है हमारी मिल्कियत, हिंदुस्तान हमारा, हिंदू मुस्लिम सिख ये सब प्यारा, और ये झंडा हमारा, आज़ादी का सलाम हमारा है। तो ये जब 1857 में ये कह दिया, और हिंदू मुस्लिम की क्या एकता बन सकती है, और वो एकता अगर बन जाए तो इस देश में कहीं कोई किसी अंग्रेजों का राज चल नहीं सकता। जब उनको समझ में बात आ गई, तब से उन्होंने लगातार कोशिश की, फूट डालो और राज करो, और इस देश में अंततः जाकर के पार्टीशन भी हुआ। सांप्रदायिकता के खिलाफ हम 100 साल से तब से लड़ रहे हैं, आज भी लड़ेंगे। पूंजीवाद के खिलाफ हमारी लड़ाई भी पुरानी है, जब से पूंजीवाद हिंदुस्तान में बनना शुरू हुआ तब से हम पूंजीवाद के खिलाफ लड़ रहे हैं। लेकिन आज की जो सांप्रदायिकता है वो पुराने किसी भी दौर के सांप्रदायिकता से, बिल्कुल एक अलग कैटेगरी, अलग स्तर की है, अलग किस्म की जहर है उसमें, अलग किस्म की नफरत है उसमें। तो वो सारे जो उसके जहर है, नफरत है, आज वही पूरे हिंदुस्तान में अलग से आप हेट स्पीच, अलग से आपको आइडेंटिफाई नहीं करना है। वो हेट स्पीच ही है, इस समय स्पीच है। वो हेट क्राइम, उस समय महात्मा गांधी की जो हत्या हुई, वो आजादी के बाद का सबसे पहला बड़ा हेट क्राइम था, सबसे बड़ा टेररिस्ट एक्टिविटी थी। लेकिन आज वो नॉर्मल बन चुका है, आज वही नॉर्म है। अगर पूंजीवाद से हम जो लड़ रहे थे उस दौर में भी, जब टाटा, बिरला, गोयनका, अंबानी की हम बात किया करते थे, जब छोटे छोटे कुछ पूंजीपतियों से भी हम लड़ते थे। लेकिन आज इस अदानी अंबानी के दौर में, जहां अदानी को सब कुछ चाहिए, इस देश का पूरे हर बंदरगाह चाहिए, हर हवाई अड्डा चाहिए, हर सड़क चाहिए। अभी बिहार में चुनाव सामने है, जब हम लोगों ने बिहार में भूमि सुधार के लिए संघर्ष किया, जब हमारे विधायकों ने विधानसभा के अंदर भूमि सुधार आयोग की रिपोर्ट की चर्चा की, जब लोगों ने कहा कि भैया आपने खुद वादा किया था बिहार के गरीबों से 1 एकड़ नहीं तो 20 डिसमिल 10 डिसमिल जमीन हम गरीब को देंगे, जब हमने गरीब की जमीन के लिए बात की, तो हमारे नीतीश कुमार जी बड़ा स्टैंडर्ड जवाब देते थे, जमीन तो है ही नहीं, कहां से जमीन लाएंगे, आसमान से क्या जमीन लाएंगे। और आज उसी बिहार में 1050 एकड़ जमीन पावर प्लांट के नाम पर भागलपुर में अदानी को दिया जा रहा है। हमारे मोदी जी कहते हैं कि एक पेड़ माँ के नाम, और माँ के सम्मान को लेकर के बड़े इस समय परेशान हैं और पूरे देश में बोल रहे हैं, और वहां 10 लाख पेड़ काट दिए जा रहे हैं इस पूरे अदानी के लिए। तो आज इस तरह का जो पूंजीवाद है, इतने आक्रामक, इतने क्रूर, इतने खूंखार, इस तरीके का हमलावर जो पूंजीवाद है, इससे लड़ना। इसीलिए हमें लगता है कि हम लोग तमाम लड़ाइयां लड़ रहे हैं, वर्षों से लड़ रहे हैं, लेकिन जिन खतरों से हम लड़ रहे थे वो सभी खतरे मिल करके कंबाइंड एंड कंसंट्रेटेड हो करके अगर खतरा हमारे सामने खड़ा है, तो हमें भी उन खतरों के खिलाफ जो हमारे लड़ाई का इतिहास है, अलग अलग लड़ाई रही है, उन तमाम लड़ाई को कंबाइन एंड कंसंट्रेट करके हमें भी एक ऐसा रेजिस्टेंस पैदा करना है। और मैं कहता हूं कि ये इस देश के लिए दूसरी आजादी से कम कुछ भी नहीं है। आजादी, लंबी लड़ाई से आजादी मिली, आजादी से हमें संविधान मिला, आजादी से जब संविधान मिला तो बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर ने कहा कि संविधान तो हमने लिख दिया, संविधान तो लिख दिया, संविधान को लेके बातें हो सकती है कि अच्छा है, बुरा है, कितना अच्छा है, क्या है, नहीं है, लेकिन पता नहीं कि संविधान किसके हाथ में जाएगा, संविधान किसके हाथ में जाएगा, कौन चलाएगा संविधान को, वो महत्वपूर्ण है। और आज हमें पता है कि संविधान किसके हाथ में गया है, वो संविधान के साथ क्या कर रहा है। बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर ने कहा कि भाई इस देश में ये एक टॉप ड्रेसिंग ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी है, ऊपर से हमने संविधान तो लिख दिया, डेमोक्रेसी इसके ऊपर से है, लेकिन नीचे जो जमीन है वो जमीन डेमोक्रेटिक नहीं है, वो अनडेमोक्रेटिक सॉइल है। और उस अनडेमोक्रेटिक सॉइल पर एक डेमोक्रेसी के जो टॉप ड्रेसिंग है, अगर उस सॉइल को हम डेमोक्रेटाइज नहीं करेंगे तो वो टॉप ड्रेसिंग ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी लंबे समय तक चलने वाला नहीं है। कह रहे हैं कि हम जो एक वोट की बराबरी आपको दे दी, सबके लिए एक वोट, गरीब से गरीब के लिए भी एक वोट, अमीर से अमीर के लिए भी एक वोट, वोट की जो बराबरी है वो तब तक ही कुछ चल सकती है अगर समाज में सामाजिक और आर्थिक गैर बराबरी हावी हो जाए पूरी तरह से, तब ये चुनाव में एक वोट की बराबरी का कोई खास मतलब नहीं रहेगा। और आज ये सब कुछ हमारे सामने हो रहा है। और इसीलिए साथियों, हमारे साथियों ने जैसे कहा, कॉमरेड राजा ने, कॉमरेड बेबी ने, कि हम लोगों को निश्चित तौर पर एक मजबूत लेफ्ट यूनिटी चाहिए और इस देश में आज के इस फांसीवाद से निपटने के लिए, दूसरी आजादी की लड़ाई को, जंग को जीतने के लिए, ठीक जैसे आजादी के आंदोलन के दौर में बहुत बड़ा कैनवस था, लड़ाई के रास्ते अलग अलग थे, भगत सिंह का रास्ता अलग था, गांधी का रास्ता अलग था, सुभाष बोस का रास्ता अलग था, नेहरू का रास्ता अलग था। कुछ लोग कहते हैं कि भाई अम्बेडकर तो कभी जेल गए नहीं, अम्बेडकर तो बैठ के सिर्फ संविधान लिख रहे थे, सिर्फ संविधान नहीं लिख रहे थे। उस पूरे आजादी के आंदोलन से निकलने वाला सबसे रेडिकल जो नारा था, अगर रेडिकल नारा था कि जमींदारी को खत्म करो, भूमि सुधार का नारा था, उतना ही रेडिकल नारा था एनाहिलेशन ऑफ कास्ट। और बिल्कुल वही 1936, जिस 36 में एक तरफ किसान मैनिफेस्टो आता है, एबोलिशन ऑफ लैंडलॉर्डिज्म का नारा आता है, कार्यक्रम बनता है, उसी 36 में अंबेडकर वो बात भी कहते हैं कि एनाहिलेशन ऑफ कास्ट। तो पूरे देश में जो बिल्कुल हो सकता है कि अंग्रेजों के खिलाफ जेल नहीं जा रहे थे, लेकिन बैठ करके पूरे समाज को बदलने के लिए योजना बना रहे थे, संघर्ष कर रहे थे, इन तमाम संघर्षों को मिला करके बहुत बड़ा एक आजादी के फलक बना था। आज भी हमें उतनी ही बड़ी व्यापक एकता चाहिए, सबको साथ लेकर के। इस देश में अलग अलग मुद्दे हैं, कहीं भाषा का सवाल है, कहीं फेडरलिज्म का सवाल है, कहीं इस देश में कल्चर का सवाल है, कहीं इस देश में रोजगार का सवाल है, कहीं किसान अपने खेती बचाने के लिए लड़ रहे हैं, कहीं मजदूर, वो जो गुलामी के 4 लेबर कोड मजदूरों पर थोपने की कोशिश हो रही है, वो जो निजीकरण का हमला है, वो जो पुराने पेंशन स्कीम को छीन करके एक पेंशन भी पूरा चुरा करके नई पेंशन स्कीम थोप दी गई, वो जो सारे नौजवान जो आउटसोर्सिंग को झेल रहे हैं, बेरोजगारी और ठेकेदारी को झेल रहे हैं, उन तमाम लोगों की लड़ाइयां हैं। लेकिन सभी लड़ाइयों को एक बड़ी एकता बना करके और बड़े मकसद के साथ, बड़ी ताकत के साथ एक लड़ना है, उसमें ऊर्जा भरना है। ये काम हम कम्युनिस्टों को जरूर करना है। हम अक्सर अफसोस करते हैं कि भाई 1960 के दशक तक हिंदुस्तान में एक ही कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी थी, बिल्कुल थी, और ये 60 का ही दशक है जब 2 और पार्टी बनी, CPM 1964 में, 1969 में हमारी पार्टी CPI मिल। कुछ लोग सोचते हैं कि अगर ये 3 पार्टी नहीं बनी होती, अगर इस देश में एक ही पार्टी रह गई होती, तो शायद तब देश कुछ और होता। मैं समझता हूँ कि इतिहास में जाकर के ये लक्ष्य है, ये सोचने से कोई फायदा भी नहीं है, और मैं इस रूप में देखता भी नहीं हूँ। मैं इस रूप में देखता भी नहीं हूँ कि अगर इतने बड़े देश में विविधता में एकता, मेरे लिए प्रिंसिपल है विविधता में एकता। कम्युनिस्ट आंदोलन के में जो विविधता का विकास हुआ है, अलग अलग धाराएं हैं, कहीं हमें लगता है कि उससे कम्युनिस्ट आंदोलन में विस्तार भी हुआ है। तो कम्युनिस्ट आंदोलन सिर्फ अलग अलग धारा बन जाने से, अलग अलग पार्टियां बन जाने से कमजोर हो गई, मुझे नहीं लगता है कि ये डायलेक्टिकल एनालिसिस है। डायलेक्टिकल एनालिसिस है कि हम लोग अलग अलग हैं, तो कोई बात नहीं, यूनिटी इन डाइवर्सिटी। अगर ये देश के लिए प्रिंसिपल है, तो कम्युनिस्ट आंदोलन में भी डाइवर्सिटी मस्ट नॉट मीन डिसयूनिटी। डाइवर्सिटी यस, डिसयूनिटी नो। और यूनिटी के लिए हम लोग बिल्कुल हर संभव कोशिश करेंगे। और हो सकता है इतिहास में अगर एक मोड़ पर कम्युनिस्टों को अलग अलग धारा में कर दिया है, तो इतिहास आगे चल करके कोई एक समय भी आएगा जब हो सकता है कि सभी धाराएं मिलकर के इस देश में फिर एक कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी बन जाएगी। उसके लिए हम लोग काम करेंगे, लेकिन इसको, ये हमारे काम का परिणाम होगा, लेकिन इसको पूर्व शर्त बना करके सोचने से मेरे ख्याल से कोई फायदा नहीं है। बड़ी लड़ाई है। 3 बात कह करके मैं खत्म करूंगा। अभी पंजाब में बाढ़ हमने देखा, साथी लोग कहते हैं कि 1988 के बाद इतनी बड़ी तबाही शायद पहली बार देखने को मिली। इस बाढ़ ने हमें बहुत सारे हमारे सामने सवाल खड़ा किया। उसमें रिलीफ की बात है, उसमें सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट आज के दिन में कहीं केरल में बाढ़ हो जाए, तमिलनाडु में हो जाए, पंजाब में हो जाए, ये डबल इंजन वाली जो सरकार है वो पहले ये देखती है कि वहाँ किस इंजन की सरकार है, और तब जाकर के उसको कभी भी नेशनल कैलेमिटी के रूप में नहीं देखा जाता है। तो निश्चित तौर पर सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की ओर से जो काम करना चाहिए था वो उन्होंने नहीं किया। लेकिन मुझे लगता है कि इससे हट करके भी बड़ा सवाल है, हिमाचल में, उत्तराखंड में, पंजाब में ये क्या हो रहा है, क्या हो रहा है। हिमालय के साथ हमने जो छेड़छाड़ किया, डेवलपमेंट के नाम पर हमने जिस तरह से प्रकृति को नुकसान पहुंचाया, तो आज वो डेवलपमेंट की जो कॉर्पोरेट स्ट्रेटेजी है, जो डिस्ट्रक्टिव स्ट्रेटेजी है, शायद वो हमारे सामने बड़ा नुकसान लेकर आ रहा है। तो हिमालय को बचाने का सवाल है, प्रकृति को बचाने का सवाल है। हमने देखा कि पंजाब में होशियारपुर में एक घटना घटी और बहुत ही उसकी आप निंदा कीजिए, उस पर निश्चित तौर पर इतना बड़ा कहीं अपराध अगर हो जाए तो किसी भी अपराध के लिए निश्चित तौर पर सजा चाहिए। लेकिन कुछ लोग ऐसी बात करने लगे हैं कि पंजाब में, बिहार और यूपी से आने वाले मजदूरों को यहाँ से इनको भगाना होगा, जो बात हम महाराष्ट्र में सुनते रहे हैं और आज पंजाब में भी कुछ लोग ऐसी बातें कर रहे हैं। मुझे उम्मीद है कि पंजाब ने सबसे ज्यादा झेला है कि किसी इंडिविजुअल क्राइम के लिए, कोई इंडिविजुअल क्राइम को अगर आप कलेक्टिव पनिशमेंट कर देंगे, किसी इंडिविजुअल के किसी अपराध के लिए अगर पूरे एक कम्युनिटी को, पूरे एक समूह को अगर आप जिम्मेदार ठहरा देंगे, तब क्या होता है। तब इंदिरा गांधी की हत्या के बाद सिखों का कत्लेआम हुआ, आज इतना बड़ा किसान आंदोलन खड़ा हुआ, उसको खालिस्तान से जोड़ के कहा गया। तो पंजाब जिसने ये झेला है, मुझे नहीं लगता है कि पंजाब में ऐसे डिवाइसिव बातें जो है इसको कई लोग समर्थन देंगे। और आज जो पंजाब बना है, जो भी पंजाब में खेती का भी विकास हुआ है, उन तमाम विकास में हम नहीं भूल सकते कि हमारे बिहार से और यूपी से आने वाले मजदूर साथी, उनकी भी मेहनत, उनका भी पसीना इस पंजाब को बनाने में लगा है। और निश्चित तौर पर हम कहेंगे कि आज पंजाब में फिर एक बार किसानों की जो एकता है, गरीबों की एकता है, मेहनत कशों की एकता है, वो किसी धर्म के आधार पर, भाषा के आधार पर, संकीर्णता के आधार पर वो एकता टूटेगी नहीं। आज का दौर तो अलग है। आज का दौर है कि पंजाब के हमारे नौजवान जो अमेरिका गए हुए हैं, अमेरिका में गए हुए हैं, अगर उनके पास कहीं डॉक्यूमेंट की कमी है, उनको घुसपैठी कह करके अपराधी के रूप में, गुलाम की तरह उनको अमृतसर में भेजा जा रहा है, हथकड़ी और बेड़ी लगा करके। तो अगर हमारे साथ जो वहाँ हो रहा है, वो हम अपने इलाके में जो बिहार से आए हैं, यूपी से आए हैं, बड़ा मजबूर होकर के आए हैं काम करने के लिए, तो निश्चित तौर पर हम उनके साथ ऐसा नहीं करेंगे, हम बिल्कुल लड़ेंगे। और तीसरी बात, जो SIR जो बिहार में चल रहा है, पूरे देश में चलेगा। इस SIR के खिलाफ जो हमारी लड़ाई है, आप सब समझ सकते हैं कि ये मामला कोई तात्कालिक सिर्फ एक चुनाव का नहीं है। ये मामला सिर्फ ये नहीं है कि 65 लाख लोगों के नाम चले गए तो चलो 8 करोड़ में 65 लाख होता क्या है। 65 लाख में तो 30 लाख हो सकता है जेन्युइनली उनका नाम काटने वाला भी था, तो 35 लाख लोगों का गलत तरीके से काटा गया। 4%, 5% है, 90%, 95% तो अभी भी है। अक्सर जब हम फांसीवाद की चर्चा करते हैं, हमने सुना कि बहुत सारे साथी कहते हैं कि भारत में फांसीवाद का चुनाव हुआ, तो हमारे बहुत सारे साथियों को लगता है कि अगर चुनाव हो रहा है, इसका मतलब चुनाव और फांसीवाद एक साथ नहीं चल सकता। हम भूल जाते हैं कि हिटलर और मुसोलिनी भी चुनाव के रास्ते से ही आए थे। चुनाव के रास्ते से आकर के उस तंत्र को इस तरह से कब्जा किया कि देखते देखते वो मल्टी पार्टी इटली, वो मल्टी पार्टी जर्मनी, वो वन पार्टी स्टेट में तब्दील हो गया। ये भी चुनाव के रास्ते से आए हैं। और चुनाव के रास्ते से आने के बाद चुनाव आयोग से लेके, मतदाता सूची से लेकर के पूरे चुनाव की प्रणाली, चुनाव की मशीनरी, चुनाव की प्रक्रिया, उसको किस तरह से उसमें हेराफेरी हो रही है, किस तरह से उसको बदला जा रहा है, ये हमारे सामने है। तो बिल्कुल इसीलिए जो महाराष्ट्र में हुआ है, अगर वो चोरी थी, तो बिहार में जो कुछ हो रहा है, ये दीर्घ दहाड़े डाका डाला जा रहा है। फर्क इतना है कि बिहार के लोग जगे हुए हैं, कोशिश कर रहे हैं लड़ने की, और इसीलिए इस लड़ाई में हम सब लोगों को बिहार के साथ खड़े होना चाहिए। और SIR के खिलाफ जो SIR पूरे देश में होने वाला है, पूरे देश में, बंगाल में, पंजाब में भी काम शुरू हो गया है। और SIR का मतलब जब जहां SIR होगा, जब जहां SIR होगा, नाम काटे जाएंगे, गरीबों के, कमजोर लोगों के, मजदूरों के, महिलाओं के, किसानों के, जितने लोग जिनको सबसे ज्यादा लोकतंत्र की जरूरत है, सिर्फ उन्हीं लोगों के नाम सबसे ज्यादा काट दिए जाएंगे। और इसीलिए इस पूरे SIR का जो हमला है, इसके खिलाफ पूरे देश में लड़ना होगा। इसी चंडीगढ़ में 2 हफ्ता पहले भी मैं आया था यहाँ साथियों से
शाम
बात
तक
हुई।
ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਆ,
कलकत्ता में अभी
ਇਹ ਸਾਰਾ
हम
ਲਾਈव
सभी
ਵਾਲਾ
व्यक्ति
ਹੈਗਾ ਹੀ ਹੈ,
लोगों ने
ਕਰਨੀ है
मिलकर
सारा
एक
लाइव।
अच्छा कन्वेंशन किया
ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ
कि
रिपोर्टर
पूरे देश
ਇਹਨਾਂ
में
ने
इस
प्रसारित
SIR
किया
को
आज।
हल्के ढंग से नहीं ले सकते। SIR अगर चल पड़ेगा,
वो हो
सुप्रीम
सकता है
कोर्ट ने
कि
अभी
नहीं,
फाइनल
ये
वर्डिक्ट
लाइव
नहीं दिया,
होगा।
लेकिन मोटे तौर पर इशारा है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने इसको रोका नहीं।
रेजोल्यूशन
ये
है ना
हिंदुस्तान में जिस डेमोक्रेसी
ये
को
शायद नहीं
ऑलरेडी
लाइव होगा, जेड़ा
आप बिडेन की रिपोर्ट
चार
देखेंगे वो
साढ़े
हिंदुस्तान
पाँच
को
बजे है, ये
इलेक्टोरल
लाइव
ऑटोक्रेसी
होगा।
कहता
क्यों बना
है।
रहा है, क्यों
ये
बना रहा है?
इलेक्टोरल ऑटोक्रेसी को पूरी तरह से
जेड़ा
एकदम डेमोक्रेसी को पूरी तरह खत्म करने की
रेजोल्यूशन
साजिश
वाला जेड़ा वो
है।
लाइव
इसलिए हम
होगा,
सब
रिकॉर्ड
लोगों को मिलकर लड़ना होगा, मिलकर लड़ेंगे, जमकर लड़ेंगे, पूरी ताकत लगाकर लड़ेंगे और तभी
मैडम
जो
दस दो।
100 साल का हमारा इतिहास है, ये जो आज़ादी के आंदोलन का जो इतिहास है, हमेशा हमेशा फासिस्टों के खिलाफ कम्युनिस्टों की लड़ाई। तो फासिस्ट इस देश में ये सवाल सामने आ गया है, क्या इस देश फासिज्म के रास्ते पर बर्बाद हो जाएगा? क्या इस देश में फासिस्टों को हर तरह के इस देश को नुकसान पहुंचाने की छूट मिल जाएगी, या हिंदुस्तान के कम्युनिस्ट सबसे आगे बढ़कर के एक होकर के फासिस्टों को शिकस्त देने के लिए हिंदुस्तान के कम्युनिस्ट आगे आएंगे और सभी लोगों को, लड़ने वाले सभी विचार को, सभी ताकतों को लेकर के आएंगे। ये इम्तिहान की घड़ी हमारे सामने है और मुझे लगता है कि जो इतिहास लेकर के हम चले हैं आज के इस दौर में, हम चुकेंगे नहीं, हम सब लोग झुकेंगे नहीं, चुकेंगे नहीं, लड़ेंगे और जीतेंगे। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया सभी साथियों को। आपका कांग्रेस महाधिवेशन सफल हो, इसके लिए हमारी पूरी पार्टी की ओर से और देश के तमाम वामपंथी प्रगतिशील विचार के लोगों की ओर से बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। इनकलाब जिंदाबाद, CPI जिंदाबाद, वामपंथी एकता
काट दो। नेक्स्ट कौन है?
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया कॉमरेड दीपांकर,
जी देवर्जन या
कॉमरेड
मनोज
देवी ने
भट्टाचार्य।
भी, कॉमरेड दीपांकर ने भी, दोनों ने जिक्र किया, पंजाब की शहादतों का जिक्र किया।
अजी
उसी में मैं जोड़ रही हूँ। आपने नेताजी सुभाष चंद्र बोस का नाम लिया, तो पंजाब की एक और खासियत है, जब नेताजी सुभाष चंद्र बोस एस्केप करना चाहते थे तो पंजाब के ही 3 साथी थे जो उनको पूरे अफगानिस्तान के रास्ते से यूरोप तक जाने का, एस्केप का उनका रूट भी बनाए और उनके उस दौर में उनको लेके यहाँ से गए। वो थे कॉमरेड अक्षर सिंह जीना, कॉमरेड भगत राम तलवार, कॉमरेड राम किशन। इन तीनों ने नेताजी सुभाष को एस्केप करने में मदद पहुंचाई थी। अंग्रेज ताकते रह गए, उनको पता नहीं लगा था कि कहाँ गुम हो गए नेताजी। तो ये खासियत रही है। अब मैं अपने कॉमरेड्स को फिर से कहूँगी, वो उठेंगे। कॉमरेड बंसिंग बरार, कॉमरेड नक्षत्र धालीवाल, कॉमरेड निर्मल सिंह धालीवाल, कॉमरेड हरदेव अर्शी और कॉमरेड जगरूप। प्लीज कम, मोमेंटो दीजिए।
स्विच कर लो, स्विच कर लो। कर दो। बोल रहा है
खाना खा लिया आपने? अभी तो नहीं लाइव करना ना अभी। आपको मिल गया स्टाफ का कार्ड? आज मिला?
किसने? विवेक ने दिया?
विवेक
हम भी ले ले जाके। बैग मिल गया? बैग में
Comrade Baby has to catch flight, so he is leaving. तो बाकी 2 साथी अभी बोलने हैं, तो आपके बीच में वो बात रखेंगे। So Comrade, now I call upon Comrade G. Devarajan, General Secretary of All India Forward Bloc, to greet the Congress.
Comrade Chairperson, अमरजीत कौर जी, तुम्हें उसको दीदी कहते हैं।
30 seconds difference.
और डी राजा, जनरल सेक्रेटरी ऑफ कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी ऑफ इंडिया, उनको भी मैं अन्ना कहते हैं। हम कभी उसको कॉमरेड नहीं कहते, वो मेरा अन्ना है। And जनरल सेक्रेटरी ऑफ कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी of India Marxist, Communist Party of India Marxist Leninist Liberation and RSP, and the leaders, delegates and members of Communist Party of India. The excuse Comrade Divangar Vadagarji has taken is applicable to me also. Because Comrade Raja directed me, rather asked me to give a written speech. It is very difficult. We know the habit of the left leaders and activists. When you start the speech, you don't know how to stop it. So it would be better always to remain with the text. Otherwise it will continue to speak. So it will be very difficult. Even if I change the language to Hindi, वो भी चलते रहेगा. So वो भी time consume करते रहेगा. So kindly allow me to remain in the text of my speech. That will be better to save the time. It is with immense pride and responsibility that I stand before you today representing the All India Forward Bloc, the party founded by the great patriot and visionary Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. On this historic occasion of the 25th Congress of the Communist Party of India, I convey my warmest revolutionary greetings and unwavering solidarity to all delegates, leaders and members present here. I have absolutely no hesitation in proudly acknowledging the historic and pioneering role played by the Communist Party of India in forging left unity and in building the powerful struggles of the working class and peasantry in our country. As a committed leftist activist who has spent over 4 decades in the teachers of people's movement, I have had the privilege of receiving the guidance, camaraderie, and unwavering solidarity of countless communist leaders. Their wisdom, courage, and revolutionary spirit have not only shaped my political journey, but continue to inspire me every single day to carry forward the torch of workers' unity and class struggle with greater conviction and clarity. I am of the opinion that this Congress is not merely a routine congregation. It is a resounding declaration of our collective resolve to uphold and advance the ideals of equality, justice, secularism, and socialism in the face of unprecedented challenges. This assembly is not just a gathering of comrades, it is a battlefield of ideas. A forge where the future of people's struggle is being shaped. It is a clarion call to all progressive forces in this country to unite, rise, and reclaim the spirit of our freedom struggle from the forces of hatred and exploitation. Comrades, I stand before you today not just as the General Secretary of All India Forward Bloc, but as a comrade in struggle, shoulder to shoulder, with each one of you in this historic mission of liberating our people from exploitation, oppression, and communal division. Today, as we gather on the occasion of this historic 25th Congress of CPI, we face a moment of reckoning. A time when the soul of our republic is under siege and the very idea of India is being distorted, dismantled and destroyed by the forces of hate, greed and authoritarianism. This is not a mere political crisis. This is a crisis of civilization. This is a crisis of ethics. It is a crisis of our constitutional morality. The dream of a secular, socialist and democratic India, as envisioned by our freedom fighters, is now facing a ruthless assault by communal and corporate forces who have hijacked the state machinery to serve the interest of a privileged few. Comrades, we are not dealing with just another right-wing government. We are confronting a regime that represents the fusion of the most dangerous tendencies: communal hatred and corporate greed. The founder of fascism, Benito Mussolini, once said that fascism should more properly be called as corporatism, since it is the merger of state and corporate power. That is precisely what we are witnessing in India today. Public resources, built over decades by the sweat and blood of our workers and peasants, are being handed over to the private profiteers in the name of ease of doing business and development. Ports, airports, railways, insurance, coal, telecom, and even defense manufacturing are being sold off a handful of crony capitalists. What we are seeing is not privatization. It is not privatization, it is loot under state protection. This is not an economic policy failure. This is a class war. And in this war, the ruling elite has chosen its side. It stands with the billionaires while ignoring the cries of the farmers who feed us, the workers who run our economy, and the youth who seek employment and dignity. Meanwhile, inflation breaks the backs of the poor, jobs disappear, education becomes a luxury, and healthcare turns into a business. While the economic assault is brutal, the ideological assault is even more dangerous. The very secular fabric of our country is being torn apart by a regime that thrives on hatred. Communal polarization is their oxygen. And every time the people demand jobs, wages, or justice, they are offered riots, religious propaganda, and manufactured controversies. The parliament is being rendered toothless. Parliamentary committees are dysfunctional. No serious debate takes place on laws that impact millions. Bulldozer justice replaces judicial process, and dissent is criminalized. And the democratic right to vote is being stolen through fraud. Voices of resistance are being silenced, not just in street, but within our institutions, our universities, and our media too. Let us recall the prophetic warning of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the architect of our constitution. He said that democracy will cease to exist when the communal majority overpowers the political majority. Today, we see that fear becoming reality. The General Secretary of the RSS himself has openly declared that socialism and secularism, the core pillars of our constitution, must be removed. We have to ask, who gave them the authority to rewrite the soul of our republic? Yet amidst the darkness, there is resistance, there is hope. Farmers, through their historical struggle on the borders of Delhi, reminded the world that India still breathes through the lens of the toiling masses. Workers continue to agitate for their rights despite repression. Students, youth, Dalit, OBCs, Adivasis, women, all are raising their voices. But comrades, let us be honest. While there is resistance, it remains fragmented. The ruling class thrives on our divisions. They want to see the left divided. They want our energy consumed in ideological one-upmanship rather than people's movement. In these perilous times, we cannot afford to remain isolated. The call for left unity is not just a political necessity. The call for left unity is not only a political necessity, it is a moral imperative. मैं एक बात यहाँ पर बोलना चाहती हूँ, हर कौमबंदी पार्टियों की पार्टी कांग्रेस में और नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस में एक पैराग्राफ होता है लेफ्ट यूनिटी। ये लेफ्ट यूनिटी कागज की शेयर बनकर रह जाती है कभी कभी, और ये लेफ्ट कागज की जो गाय है वो कभी घास नहीं खाते हैं, उसको असली जमा पहनाना बहुत जरूरी बात भी होती है। हम एक साथ लड़ेंगे, एक साथ agitate करेंगे, but when the elections come, he will fragment. So ये जो बात है, मुझे लगता है CPI का इस पार्टी कांग्रेस में इसके ऊपर भी जोर से ध्यान देना जरूरी है, because it is a moral, what we can say, it is a very imperative that the Communist Party of India has to ponder upon it. This unity must not be symbolic. It must be rooted in concrete action, shared struggles, and coordinated campaigns. Let us reclaim the streets, the campuses, the factories, the villages, and the digital space with creativity, conviction, and unity. Once again, I extend revolutionary greetings and deep respect to all the delegates, members, and leaders of CPI. The forward bloc stands with you in the fight for a better India. Let this 25th Party Congress of CPI be remembered not just for the resolutions passed, but for actions taken, alliances forged, and battles launched. Comrades, the road ahead is difficult, but history is on our side. Fascism may appear strong, but it is hollow. The power of the people, when awakened, is mightier than any state machinery. Only unity can be the spark. Our movement can be that fire. There are experiences around our country. Let us rise together, not for party gains, but for the survival of our republic. Let the red flag of struggle fly high, not in isolation, but in the company of millions. Long live left unity, long live people's struggle. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Comrade Devarajan, for your greeting message, and really wishing that yes, some time will come, it's very necessary, the communists come together. So now I request all our leaders from Punjab, Comrade Barar, Dhaliwal, Devarshi, and Jagmohan to give memento to him. In the meanwhile, when you are bringing memento, I can tell you talk of Netaji Subhash Bose, and just now I told the link with Punjab, another link with Punjab of Bengal. That link is Bhagat Singh and Jitendra Das. They were together in hunger strike in jail during British time, and Jitendra Das was martyred at that time. Comrades, now, Comrade Manoj Bhattacharya, General Secretary of Revolutionary Socialist Party, he will be giving his greeting message. My request कि हॉल में बातचीत नहीं कीजिए, किसी को बातचीत का जरूरत है तो बाहर जाके कीजिए. So please don't talk inside the hall. You may go out if you have something important to be talked.
Thanks for the announcement. But however, for a long inaugural session, the talk should be there. However, I, on behalf of the Central Committee of my party, the Revolutionary Socialist Party, I greet everybody, all the delegates, all the respected delegates, my friends, my colleagues, in the form of the left leaders like Comrade Daniel Nagar, Comrade Bhupinder Sambar, Comrade G. Devarajan, and say a few words, because much has been talked about. I'll just pay at the outset, I shall pay my homage, my sincere homage, to the memory of Comrade Sudhakar Reddy, Comrade Abdul and other leaders who have lost their lives, including Comrade Sikaran, of course, who have lost their lives in between. And I shall also greet all of you on the occasion of the centenary of the foundation of Communist Party of India. I don't like to get into the controversy of the Tashkent. And at the same time, I shall spell a few words that even after 100 or 105 years of our establishment as a Communist Party of India, even I include my party also, the Revolutionary Socialist Party. What is the other name of the communist? Revolutionary Socialism and Communism are the same. Comrade Lenin was a revolutionary socialist. Karl Marx has written pages on revolutionary socialism. However, my party has also been adult, 85 years of old age. But even now, after all these years of sacrifices of the most talented people of this country who have joined the communist or left movement, we could not establish our identity in the national politics. That has to be looked into. Is it because of our isolation from the common people? Is it because of our attitude? It is because of the fragmentation of ours? Or it is because of sectarianism? What is instrumental or what pervades us? That has to be examined. Then why we have not been able to establish our identity even after 100 years of our existence? We have been consistently fighting for the right cause, but we have not been able to. That has to be examined. One. Two, we are in such a situation in today's India that we are not being able to overcome the attacks of the RSS, Rashtriya Science Samstan. We are not being able to overcome the attacks by the government of India as of today. Just imagine a situation Comrade Bhupinder Sambar has dealt in details. I don't like to deal once again and take your time. But this is new India now. New norms. When the Home Minister of this country, Mr. Amit Shah, I despise to take his name, but he declares a war against our own people. He declares by 1926 the war against Maoism in the name of pretext of, on the pretext of Maoism, he will annihilate the village. And the lands, as of today, Himanshu Kumar, the one Bangladesh worker who is working in Chandigarh, he reported me in Calcutta that number of villages in Chandigarh are lying vacant now. Nobody is there because they have been haunted by the Cobra forces, they have been haunted by the CRPF, they have been indiscriminately killed and killed by shots in the back, and the villages have been vacant. The lands are ready to be handed over to Adanis and Ambanis for the mineral villages. I am told the same thing they are planning in Maharashtra, in the eastern part of Maharashtra, in Jharkhand, in many places in Jharkhand, in many parts of Jharkhand, they are doing away with the Pesa, they are doing away with the 6th schedule, and they have declared a war against their own citizens. So we need to have a right, or we need to have a responsibility of saving our fraternity, who are in the name of being Maoists, on the pretext of being Maoists, they have been killed indiscriminately. We shall have to bear it in our mind. Now I regard, I get out because the time is not in my favor. As all of us assembled over here in the 25th Party Congress of yours, to deliberate on the issues of effective ways and measures of our ongoing struggle, commencing the poor and the downtrodden, we cannot develop any plausible program of our movement without simultaneously assessing the international situation as of today. The international situation is very, very big. The rise of extreme right or far right capitalism, far-right rulers, to salvage the capitalist crisis, are attacking the peoples of the world. The entire world has virtually undergone an unprecedented changes in the last few decades. There have been considerable changes. There have been considerable changes in the attitude of many countries, particularly advanced developed countries, or the so-called developed countries. The crisis of capitalism has deepened enormously. The imperialist hegemonies of the northern hemisphere of the world, even after the introduction of the indiscriminate implementation of the dispensations of neoliberalism, that could not sustain the inherent crisis. They were approached to a systematic downfall. The phenomenon could not salvage the situation. Neoliberal order has died down. Not only criticized from and in the absence of neoliberalism, when that has also failed, they have no formula. Now they are resorting to fascistic attacks on the people of this country, of this world. The US imperialist administration had to resort to the unwarranted wars and annihilation of humanity in several countries, especially those belonging to the continents of Asia, Africa and Latin America. It is ascertained by many historians that in famous US imperialism, in conjunction with UK, France, Canada, etc., are perpetually demolishing the bare minimum values of human civilization. They have no doubt miserably lost in all the infamous war efforts, but could not restrain themselves as the administration in a particular is governed by the uncouth military-industrial complex. In all eventualities, it is not only in a case of war, as such the American administration, US administration is based on the demands or lobbying of the, we call it lobbying of the military-industrial complex. We have been observing with great concern and the horrifying advance of imperialist forces has brutally attacked the democratic values and constitutions of many countries. While neoliberalism was being introduced, the same thing we observed. That the democracies in different countries, the constitutional provisions have been demolished mercilessly. Even in India, we have been observing with great concern that the horrific advance of the imperialist forces has brutally attacked the democratic values of the constitution or the constitutions of many countries. Those who not emancipate themselves, those countries which emancipate themselves from the yoke of imperialist occupation, imperialist attacks and colonialism. The changes and development of technology, this is a new phenomenon that appears to my mind, or to our mind, the collective wisdom of our party, that we have been observing. The changes in the development of technology in the West have paved the ways for consolidation of fascist economy. At one point of time, as we may recall, the nuclear technology played a different role in ascertaining the domination of two states. Domination of US Hiroshima and Nagasaki made US imperialism as an invincible force. But incidentally it has changed. Many other countries have owned nuclear technology. Nuclear technology is the determinant of the strength of any country for a very long time. And then it was the era of dominance of computer software technology. Even now, this computer software technology, who possesses more, whether in social media or in all the IT cells, and espoused by the RSS, tremendous. In the name of cultural nationalism, it is something tremendous. The people are making absolutely baseless demands, baseless observations. And they are telling that that is the truth. And that has been propagated in the social media through IT cells. Then it became biotechnological advances. The biotechnological or biological warfare. Biotechnology was developed in the military industrial complex. Even the foods have been changed. People say that soybean is not an agricultural food. Soybean is an industrial product. And that is dumped on the nations as a very nutritious food. What may not be of flesh. Now, the technology has changed and owned by only a few people. Those who are very, very rich. This artificial intelligence or GPT chat, etc. I could note that in England, some before 15 years ago, one Tommy Robinson, he gathered ultra-right fascistic elements who were against immigration, who were against the people of color, who were against the common people, the interests of the common people, and that was addressed by none other than Elon Musk. He was the only person who addressed it, of course, by using the technology. And I find a situation when Nirmala Sitharaman, the famous finance minister of India, she claims that this is a fact because Elon Musk has told it. So Elon Musk, who is Elon Musk? He has a complete control over the new technology that is evolved. So we have to be very, very careful. The technology is causing a huge damage to the advance of humanity. And I'm sure that while delivering your own points, you might be raising this point and we want your wisdom also. We may dare say that the centuries of capitalism is over. This is to put in a ventilator for its survival. And this is pertinent to point out that we are not in a position to take advantage of such crisis of the system. The collapse of the viable and effective international communist consolidation is being very badly faced. The billions of people are languishing in utter deprivation and they are being thoroughly misled and many of them are being utilized to promote further consolidation of wealth. This section of the poor are being systematically divided, decided in the names of religion, regions, color, language, etc. The poverty-stricken people are being engaged to fight each other for wrong reasons. The rights are being taken away, instead of those are being used to minimize the wrath of the people in the form of populist governance. This has to be borne in the mind. And let us remember, we have talked about Bhagat Singh. Bhagat Singh was an activist of Hindustan Socialist Republican Army. He came all the way to Kanpur and in company of Bhupinder Sambar, in company of Jyotin Das, the great partner of Jyotin Das, along with Rajguru and Sukhdev, they fought against British imperialism. And just remember, Bhagat Singh became an activist at the age of 23. He changed his attitude towards life. And he is a person, before being hanged, when he was asked, what is your last desire, last wish? And still I get shivered. That a person, that a revolutionary in his 20s, he could dare say that some pages are left, the pages of state and revolution by Vladimir Lenin are left. I want to finish those pages. That was his last wish. He did not ask for some relatives of his to be met. He did not ask for any good food. He did not ask for anything else but state and revolution. the state revolution, while Lenin has categorically mentioned that imperialism is the highest stage of capitalism. And fascism comes out of the dilapidated capitalism. Mussolini developed this phenomenon. Hitler followed. And from Mussolini, this RSS, the Hindu Mahasabha people, I would name Dr. B.S. Munjay. He took the lessons from Mussolini in 1931 and wanted to develop military fascism in India. This Bhosla Military Training Institute was established by Munjay immediately after his retirement. So we shall be very, very careful and clear about our ideas in the development of fascism in India. The country, the overall socio-economic situation is quite dismal. We may say that daily reality is being experienced. The livelihood of the employment is elusive. We have experienced such a phenomenal rise in unemployment since more than half a century. More than 16% official record, the government record says that more than 16% of our population is unemployed, whereas nearly 2/3 of the country are young people. The contingents of the young people have been both male and female. They are being used as a pawn, this unemployed youth. They are being used as pawns by the security forces. And hijacked. There's so many organizations. Even nowadays the ISKCON has come over. ISKCON, International Social Consciousness or something like that. The Ananda Margi in Bristol. And many other ships. Bajrangal, Durga Bahini, etc., everything, they are all pervasive. And unless we are very carefully examine the things, when I was coming to Delhi yesterday, last night, in the train, some monks-like appearance. They came and they were trying to sell some religious books. And they said, some 4 people came. They are acting the platforms of the railway station. We overlook that. But we shall be overlooking that, but we shall be very, very careful. We shall be very, very careful and just imagine a situation when we were shouting about Gaja invasion by private army. It's a private army that is rampaging entire Gaja, deemed to be a hub for international rascals, headed by Donald Trump. This is being done with a private army. Not only Netanyahu, Benjamin Netanyahu, but private army. And this has been started, initiated in 2003. During Iraq War, you will kindly recall, there's Halliburton company owned by Dick Cheney, Vice President of America. He took the initiative of introducing this private army in the warfare. So warfare has also been privatized for the private good. The money of the states are being used for promoting the private army. The noble social values, by the way, are disappearing. वो कहीं नहीं है. अब बोलने से लोग हंसता है, अधिकतर लोग हंसता है. ये क्या आप 100 साल के पुराने बात बोलेंगे? We shall have to be very, very careful. At every moment we shall be careful. And I'm sure that you, as a conscious detachment of the Marxist-Leninist organization, Marxist-Leninist output, you'll be conscious enough to fight it out every moment, on the basis of every moment, it's suddenly every day. It's every moment is precious for us. Every moment has to be reckoned, has to be taken into account. And in every moment we shall be fighting against this sort of tyrannical activities by the capitalism in the guise of imperialism or fascism. And I'll say about this is a fact or this is imperative. We shall have to make We shall to broaden the base of left unity. We shall to broaden the face of the front of left unity. At the same time, we shall have to determine our program. What is the program of the left? Lefts are not to go with the rightist parties. In the name of democratic parties. In the name of Baba Sahib Ambedkar alone. But should take up some programs, advance the programs, and the democratic forces will join, and we shall have a bigger fraud. That may be used for elections. Elections, let us not be swept away by the requirements of elections, but let us be swept away consciously for the cause of the downtrodden people, for the cause of the economic leaders, for the cause of the workers, peasants. I am sure that your 25th Party Congress will deliberate on this, and 25th Party Congress will show some ways and means so that we can advance the desire of our nation, the promise of our nation. With these few words, I shall thank you immensely for giving me a scope, deliberating your honest conference of 25th Party Congress. Wishing you all the grand success and wishing you all revolutionary greetings. Thank you so much. Inaugural Zindabad. CPI Zindabad.
Thank you very much, Comrade, for your greeting message. I would request our leaders to come and give him momentum.
Last piece. Last piece.
डैडी को चाबी देंगे ऐसे बैठे हाँ उन्होंने रूम से जाना
that we should also honor Professor Jagmohan Singh. So I request him to come in front and the leaders should give him one memento. Professor Jagmohan Singh.
Professor Jagmohan Singh, nephew of Shaheed Bhagat Singh.
है कितने कॉमरेड की बजे
And with us is today Professor Chamanlal also, who has been writing on Bhagat Singh, doing research on Bhagat Singh. So one book is brought out by him. He will present that book to Comrade D. Raja. Professor Chamanlal.
One minute. This book is published by Monthly Review Press, New York, and it's greeting from Michael D. Yates, Monthly Review Director at 25th Congress of the CPI.
Comrades, there is going to be a special session. Please don't move, wait. Presidium didn't say that the session is on break, please. There will be special session today. After we break now, we will be meeting at 3 o'clock. We'll start our proceedings, but at 4:45, special session in solidarity with Palestine, in solidarity with Cuba. So Ambassador of Palestine and Ambassador of Cuba in India, both of them are arriving. So comrades, delegates, alternate delegates and others, and even it will be open session for 1 hour. All our friends, all our volunteers, everybody will be here. You should be here in full strength, others also in that particular session, this I am saying. So now we will be, while thanking everybody, all the leaders of our left parties for this inaugural session who came, once again I thank them. And now on behalf of Presidium, we break and meet at 3 o'clock.